Let's cross over back to the Iran war. You're a foreign policy expert among your many credits. The president is sounding tougher. I don't know if he's going to adopt Admiral Cooper's plan to go big, or maybe he will, the 10 to 14 days bombing. But we're talking about certainly stepping up the pressure on them, the economic pressure. There's talk now about closing their borders and, bridges, hitting bridges and tunnels. No trucks come in. No goods can be carried in as further punishment. And covert operations with Israel may also be developing as things go on. How do you see this? Is the president essentially going to stay on this path? Diplomacy has just failed, and now it's just time to just kick some butt.
Well, much to Washington's shock, President Trump has been very good about not telegraphing his every move. But I'll say this, Brad Cooper had completed roughly 75 to 80% of the target package that initially was set to deal with Iran. He stepped back from that when we went into negotiations, into the ceasefire to deal with the Strait of Hormuz. I think the time has come, Larry. I think you agree as well. Go back, finish the package, finish the job. I think this is what the American public need to see. As soon as this happens, I'll tell you this. The polling data that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats are thrilled about right now, because Americans don't like to see this sort of unclear situation. Once we have clearly defined this and ended this whole bit in Iran, we've taken the IRGC and put them where they belong. I think you're going to see the president's poll numbers. You're going to see joy back in America again. Americans love a winner. Americans love to win. We can do that. I think the time has come to deliver on it.
Yeah, that's a very important point, sir, especially those last points you make. And I agree. Look, I want to see this multidimensional effort. Whatever Cooper's plan is, I'm not a military expert. Scott Bessent's been a very good wartime Treasury Secretary. I hope he steps up the sanctions. I mean, I think closing the borders to trade will be very helpful. Their economy has been decimated, but it may have to get worse before the IRGC is done. And I think the covert operations, Senator Hagerty, I think that's an integral part of it, too, because you know darn well that the majority of that population does not want these crazy radical Muslims to keep running the place.
I think that's exactly right. And you talk about our Israeli partners. They have exquisite intelligence and exquisite capabilities on the ground there. You saw what they did with the supply chains when every one of Hezbollah's leaders had their fingers and thumbs blown off. I think the Israelis possess, incredible covert capabilities. And I'm with you. I think we should put every option on the table. Diplomacy, when it's not working, there's an alternative, and I think we're at that point right now. Let's execute the alternatives.